Hey guys, I wanted to make a video to talk a little bit about truth tables today. Just to give you a quick refresher and go through this in real time, because truth tables are really challenging to read in your book when you can't see them being formed in real time. So here we are. Alright, so first I'm just going to quickly run through your connective statements and your negation. Remember that the and symbol, and I kind of made a subconscious error here, and symbol is an upside down V, and of course I always picture the cross through the middle that makes it into an A for and. Alright, so remember your rules for and. True and true is true. False and false is false. True and false is false. Okay, rules for or. Remember the symbol for or is a V. True or true is true. False or false is false. True or false is true. Remember, for or, only one or the other has to be true for it to be true. Okay, not. That's the easy one. Not true is false. Not false is true. And of course the symbol for not is a tilde. Okay, so let's start with a very simple truth table. Construct a truth table for not P or Q. Of course, we start out with P and Q with all of their possible combinations of truth values. Alright, we always start with our negations in the first columns that we add. Here I need not P. I do not need not Q because not Q is not pictured anywhere here. So my first column is going to be not P. Once I have that not P, the next column, we can add one thing to it. So I have not P, I can add to it or Q. And since that is our full statement, that's our last column. Now that we have all the columns filled in as their headings, let's go back and fill in the rest of that column. So to get not P, we're going to look at the P column. Alright, not P here would be not true, which is false. Opposite of true is false. Opposite of false is true, and opposite of false is true. So we get that first column filled in. For the not P or Q column, we're going to look at the not P column and the Q column, and we're going to use the rule for or. So, true or false is true. False or false is false. True or true is true. False or true is true. And that completes that truth table. Let's look at one that's a little bit more complicated. Similar, but a little bit more complex. Okay, we have our P and Q columns already filled in. And we're going to start with the negations on the very inside. So the first column I need to put up there is not Q. Okay, we're going to add one thing to that. So we're going to say P and not Q is our next column. And then adding one more thing to that would be the negation of this whole thing right here. Not P and not Q. And that's the whole thing, so that's our last column. Alright, just take it one step at a time. So for our not Q column, it's going to be the opposite of what's in the Q column. So we can fill that in. Alright, for P and not Q, we're going to look at the P column and the not Q column, and we'll use the rule for and. So, true and false is false. True and true is true. False and false is false. False and true is false. Okay. Next, our last column is just the negation of the previous column. See that? So we want the opposite of what was in the previous column. Well, that's easy. We can just fill it in. Alright, I'm going to do another video that goes through a little bit more complex truth table, but because of uploading, it'll be easier if I close this one and then start the next one. So stay tuned for part 2 of truth tables.